Here with more on all of it, Illinois Congressman Joe Walsh and Democratic Strategist Jessica Tarlov. Good to see you guys.
Hi, Trish.
Hey, Congressman, I'll start with you. I mean, how much do you think the mood of the country matters when it comes to the economy? And how do you think this small win and potentially others along the way will really start to change things?
Hey, Trish, this is just awesome. I mean, this is the beauty of Trump, right? He's not a typical politician. He finds out during the campaign that 1,400 jobs are going to Mexico. And like you or I, he gets really pissed off about it. But unlike a politician, he doesn't sit on his butt. He doesn't call some committee hearing or form some committee together. He gets on the phone and he says, what's it going to take? He cuts a deal. He does what typical politicians don't do. Obama could have picked up the phone, but he never did. This is absolutely beautiful, and it's going to fire up America.
Yeah, I think Americans need something right now to really start to spark some optimism, because people have felt so down for so long. I mean, you think about the Carter years, and then all of a sudden Reagan came in, and the hostages were freed, and it created this sort of momentum for the country where people could start feeling a little better about themselves. And Jessica, I know there are flaws with this, and people are going to say, oh, well, what concessions did Indiana have to give? And some of those jobs are still going to go to Mexico, but there's an important psychological headline here.
I think that's right, and I'm still on my Trump positivity tour, so I'm going to be good about this.
There's a lot coming from Jessica, folks, just to point that out.
No, I think it's really important, and I do agree that the mentality, the psyche of the American worker, that we get that back on track. It's hugely important, and that can't be underestimated. Since you went ahead and admitted it, obviously there are some extra things going on here, like the incentives that came from Indiana, and it's not all of the jobs, but every job that stays in America is an important one.
I just want to jump in, because I want to highlight that fact. And yes, there are some questions about the incentives, et cetera.
Right.
You know, it almost feels as though you needed a mega capitalist to go in there and be able to do something like this. I mean, if Bernie Sanders had tried it, right? Forget it. People would have said this is socialism at its worst. It's kind of like, Richard Nixon is the one guy who is so anti-communist. He could go into China and start to open it up, in part because you don't come with all the baggage of being a socialist in the first place.
I think that that's a fair point, but that's also not particularly fair if you think about it. I was reading about this deal, and someone raised a point that if Obama had done this, people would have said, oh, he's meddling in the free market. And we still have questions. The economy has not...
I'm telling you. I'm making the same point in that, you come with a certain amount of baggage if you're Bernie Sanders or President Obama, and you walk in as the capitalist, the guy who really and truly understands what it is to meet a payroll every week. And Congressman, there's a certain leeway that you get there, at least with the business community.
Yeah, and again, Trish, I think what's so refreshing is Trump found out about this, and he reacted like the three of us would to it. He got angry, and like a businessman, not a politician, he just said, you know what, I'm gonna pick up my phone. I mean, how many times have you heard a politician say that? I'm going to pick up my phone. What's it going to take? I'm going to cut a deal. That's beautiful.
No, it's really great to see, and I'm going to enjoy this good news as long as it lasts, because I just think how happy those families must be right now, those 1,000 workers there in Indiana that are going to have a much happier Christmas this year. Jessica,
Amen.
Congressman, thank you so much.
Happy for them.
Yeah.